Let's get started in Supta Baddha Konasana. So for Supta Baddha Konasana, press the soles of your feet together to touch. Lay down on your back. Butterfly your knees, and then place your hands wherever you want. You can place one hand over your heart, one over your belly. Today, I'm going to start with my arms in a goal post to get some more chest expansion right away. Feels really nice to just let your arms fall down into the ground in this goal post position. But if you don't like that, you can always just place your hands at your sides or one over heart, one over belly. Now right away, begin to bring your awareness to your breath. Notice your inhales and your exhales, how they feel in your body. And take a nice deep breath in through your nose. A nice loud breath out your mouth. Let go of your day. Now take another deep breath in, feel your belly rise, your chest expand. This time seal your lips and exhale back out your nose. Continue breathing here like this, matching the length of your inhales and exhales, in and out through your nose. Take one more nice deep breath in. Controlled breath back out. Take your hands on your outer thighs, close your knees up together and begin to rock and roll the length of your spine. Maybe rock a few times today, maybe 3 or 4 times. And then come up to a nice tall seat with your ankles crossed in front of you. Ground down through your sit bones, nice tall spine here. Drop your right ear down to your right shoulder, press your left shoulder down. Now drop your chin forward, left ear to left shoulder. Drop your head back, right ear to right shoulder. Pick your head up to center. Now drop your left ear down to your left shoulder and press your right shoulder down. Drop your head forward, feeling a stretch in the back of your neck. Right ear to right shoulder. Drop your head back, left ear to left shoulder. Now bring your head back up to center. Extend your right arm up toward the ceiling. Then drop your right hand behind your back, like in between your shoulder blades. Take your left hand, grab for your right elbow, and take a nice little tricep stretch here, taking your right thumb and pressing your trap muscle between your shoulder and your neck down. So you're getting this stretch throughout your right tricep, the back of your arm, and also kind of relaxing your trap muscle at the same time. So let go of your right elbow, take your left arm, extend your left arm up, and then drop your hand down behind your back between your shoulder blades. Take your right hand, grab for your left elbow. Get a nice tricep stretch here. Find a lot of space on your left side, and then take your left thumb and press your left trap down. The muscle between your shoulder and your neck. Release your left elbow. Plant your palms down on the ground. Come to a tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly down. Lift your gaze to the wall in front of you. Exhale, cat pose. Pull your spine up toward the ceiling and gaze between your thighs. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly. Expand through your collarbones. Exhale, cat pose, arch your spine, find space along your back. Now return to a neutral tabletop. Inhale, tuck your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. And now from here, take a minute to settle into this position. Bend into one knee, bend into the next. Now press your palms down and forward, and as you press your palms forward, rotate your triceps toward the wall behind you. So the inner eyes of your elbows should kind of be facing one another. Press your heels down as far as you can. It's okay if they don't hit the ground, but just press them down as far as you can. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, ragdoll pose. Step your feet behind your wrists at about hip width distance and drape your torso over your thighs. You can grab for opposite elbows and sway side to side. Feel your torso brush against your thighs. Now just an option here today for a chest expansion, interlace your hands at the small of your back and then magnetize your wrists toward one another and pull your hands in front of you over your head. Feeling a really deep opening through your shoulders right away and through your chest. Just keep your head hanging heavy. If you have the chest expansion, slowly drop your hands back down to the ground. Toe heel your feet together to touch, leaving just a sliver of space between your heels. Then inhale, slowly roll up to stand, stacking one vertebrae on top of the next. When you get up to the top, you can either soften your gaze to the tip of your nose or flutter your eyes closed completely. Press your hands together at your heart. We'll take a breath here. Take a nice deep breath in, find length throughout your entire body. Nice strong exhale back out your nose. Drop your arms down to your sides, face your palms forward. Inhale, mountain pose, extend your arms up overhead. Spiral your pinkies inward toward one another. You can even press your palms together over your head if you'd like. Take one more breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge from your hips down through heart center, releasing your arms down toward the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Press your palms to your shins or your thighs and flatten out your spine. Shift your weight into the ball mounds of your feet and then energize your shoulder blades up and back. Take a breath in. Exhale, high plank. Plant your palms, step your feet back. Stack your shoulders over wrists and heels over toes. Inhale, shift forward 2 inches. Exhale, low plank, lower down halfway. Keep your elbows pinned in tight toward your sides. Inhale, upward facing dog. Flip the tops of your feet. Pull your thighs up and shine your chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Step toward your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Flatten out your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Release down. Inhale, mountain pose, rise all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, Samastitihi, drop your hands together at your heart. Drop your arms to your sides. Inhale, mountain pose, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold, dive down to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, neutralize your spine. Exhale, high to low plank. You can always take these on your knees or just skip them and press straight back to down dog. Inhale, upward facing dog, press your chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, step to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins or thighs. Exhale, forward fold, bend down. Inhale, mountain pose, rise all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, Samastitihi, hands together at your heart. Drop your arms to your sides. Inhale, mountain pose, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, ride your breath all the way down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out your back. Exhale, high to low plank, whatever variation you'd like. Inhale, upward facing dog. Relax your shoulders down your back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, step toward your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, neutralize your spine. Exhale, forward fold, bend down. Inhale, chair pose. Send your hips low and reach your arms to frame your face. Breathe here. Shift your weight a little further back into your heels and then tuck your tailbone under to take that big curve out of your low back. Take one more breath in, sit a little bit lower. Exhale, forward fold, dive back down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out your back. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press your palms down firmly into the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your tailbone up. Inhale, keep your right heel high. Flex your right toes down to the ground and squeeze your right butt cheek. Take a breath in. Exhale, low lunge. Step your right foot between your hands and drop your left knee down to the ground. Inhale, crescent moon, arms up to frame your face and breathe here. Take a moment to settle into this. You can interlace your hands around your front thigh, maybe gently rock forward and back. Feel this nice gentle opening through your left hip flexors. If you're super tight, you can, don't bend as far into your front knee, that's fine. Just wherever you're at today is good. Now inhale, crescent moon, arms up overhead. Exhale, baby back bend. Goalpost your arms and then lift your heart up toward the ceiling, creating just this little back bend here. Super deep opening through your left hip flexors. Inhale, crescent moon, arms back up to center. Exhale, low lunge. Plant your palms and lift your left knee up off of the ground. Inhale, warrior one. Spiral your back foot down and then extend your arms overhead. Breathe here. So in warrior one, your back foot is planted firmly into the ground at about a 45-degree angle to the top left corner of your space. And then bend deeply into your right knee. You might have to walk your back foot in a little bit. That's totally fine. Take one more breath in, bend a little deeper into your front leg. Exhale, warrior two, spiral open. Readjust your stance as needed. So find front heel to back arch alignment in your feet. Point your right toes directly forward and gaze over your right fingertips. Inhale, star pose. Straighten your right leg. Heels in, toes out. Option to take a little hip sway here, stretching through your hips. Now keep your heels in and your toes out. Take a breath in. Exhale, horse pose. Sink your hips down, so directly down, and keep a nice straight spine. Now drop your hands on the inside of your thighs. We'll take some shoulder dips here. So press your chest slightly forward and use your palms to press your knees back behind you. Take a breath in. Exhale, dip your left shoulder down to center. Inhale, lift your chest up to middle. Exhale, dip your right shoulder down. Inhale, come to center. One more each side. Exhale, dip your left shoulder. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, drop your right shoulder down to middle. Inhale, return to center. Bring your palms back to your heart. Inhale, star pose, heels and toes out, X with your body. Now pivot your toes so they're facing in front of you. Feet are parallel with the short ends of your mat. Take a breath in. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Hinge from your hips down toward the ground. And then take this first wide leg forward fold to play around with your hands wherever you'd like to place them. We'll be here for a couple breaths. You can grab for your ankles. You can also take this chest expansion again, really opening through your shoulders. Just drop the crown of your head toward the ground as much as you can. It's okay if it doesn't get close to the ground. If you have the chest expansion, drop your hands down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Tense your fingertips on the floor and parallel your spine with the ground. Take another breath in. Exhale, low lunge. Crawl your palms forward to frame your front foot. Take a breath in here. Exhale, high to low plank. Step your right foot back and then lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Flip to the tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Inhale, keep your left heel high behind you. Flex your left toes toward your face. Even the weight between your palms. Take a breath in. Exhale, low lunge. Step your left foot between your hands and drop your right knee down to the ground. Inhale, crescent moon, arms up to frame your face and breathe here. You can keep your arms up if you'd like. You can also interlace your hands around your left thigh and very gently rock forward and back, being very mindful as you rock forward and back. To accentuate this stretch in your right hip flexors, tuck your tailbone underneath you, and then press your pelvis forward. That'll cause you to bend a little deeper into your left knee. You'll feel a deeper stretch in your right hip flexor. So inhale, crescent moon. Extend your arms back up if they're not already there. Exhale, baby back bend. Cactus your arms, and then gaze up toward the ceiling and lift your heart up. So it's more about the lift up in your heart than dumping down into your low back. Inhale, crescent moon. Lift your torso back up to center. Exhale, low lunge. Plant your palms on the ground. Lift your right knee up off of the earth. Inhale, warrior one. Spiral your back foot down and extend your arms up to frame your face. You can take a minute to settle into this here and breathe in this position. So left toes point directly forward, and then right toes point out at about a 45-degree angle. Press a lot of weight down into the outer edge of your back foot. So bring a lot of awareness to this back leg here. Take one more breath in, bend a little deeper into your left knee. Exhale, warrior two. Readjust your stance and tee out your arms. Gaze over your left fingertips, really strong fingers here, and then level your arms in line with one another. So maybe check your back arm to make sure it's in line with your front. Now inhale, star pose, heels in, toes out. Maybe shake your hips a little bit again on this side. Exhale, horse pose, sink your hips down, nice flat spine here. We'll flow through a few star to horses. So inhale, star pose, straighten your legs, arms up. Exhale, horse pose, sink your hips down. Inhale, star pose, rise up. Exhale, horse pose, see if you can get just a little bit deeper this time. Inhale, star pose. Now from here, pivot your toes in front of you. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Hinge from your hips down to the ground. We'll take another moment here. You can take whatever arm variation you like, maybe going for the chest expansion again. You have the chest expansion, drop your hands back down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, tense your fingers, parallel your back with the floor, breath in. Exhale, low lunge, crawl your palms forward to frame your front foot, take a breath in. Exhale, high to low plank, step your left leg back and then lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog, shine your chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. And this is our sun B. Let's flow through again, linking breath to movements. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, step up to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins or thighs. Exhale, forward fold, bend down. Inhale, chair pose, sit your hips nice and low. Extend your arms up to frame your face. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out your back. Exhale, high to low plank, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, flip the tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Inhale, kick your right heel high. Exhale, low lunge, step your right foot between your hands and drop your left knee down. Inhale, crescent moon, arms up. Exhale, open arm, back bend, cactus your arms, lift your heart. Inhale, crescent moon, arms back up. Exhale, low lunge, plant your hands, pull your left knee up off of the ground. Inhale, warrior one, spiral your back foot down and extend your arms up. Exhale, warrior two, readjust your stance, gaze over your right fingertips. Inhale, star pose, straighten your legs, heels in, toes out. Exhale, horse pose, sink your hips down, nice straight spine here. Inhale, star pose, expand. Exhale, wide leg forward fold, point your toes in front of you and hinge from your hips down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten your back, tense your fingers. Exhale, high to low plank, crawl your palms forward, step your right leg back and lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog, press your chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. Inhale, keep your left heel high. Exhale, low lunge, step your left foot between your palms and drop your right knee down. Inhale, crescent moon, arms up. Exhale, back bend, cactus your arms, lift your heart. Inhale, crescent moon, arms up. Exhale, low lunge, plant your palms, lift your right knee up. Inhale, warrior one, press your back foot down to the ground, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two, readjust your stance, gaze over your left fingertips. Inhale, star pose, heels in, toes out. Exhale, horse, drop your hands to your heart and sink your hips down low. Inhale, star pose, expand. Exhale, wide leg forward fold, pivot your toes and hinge down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out your back, tighten your fingers. Exhale, high to low plank, crawl your palms forward, step your left leg back. Inhale, upward facing dog, pull your thighs up. Exhale, downward facing dog, send your hips back. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, step to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out your back. Exhale, forward fold, bend down. Inhale, chair pose, sit your hips low, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold, dive back down to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins or thighs. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips. Inhale, keep your right heel high. Exhale, low lunge, step your right leg between your foot, or between your hands, and drop your left knee down. Inhale, crescent moon, arms up. Exhale, goal post your arms, lift your heart up toward the ceiling. Inhale, crescent moon, arms up. Exhale, low lunge, plant your palms, lift your left knee off the earth. Inhale, warrior one, press your back foot down, extend your arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two, readjust your stance, gaze over your right fingers. Inhale, star pose, heels in, toes out. Exhale, horse pose, hands together at your heart, sit your hips nice and low. Inhale, star pose, expand. Exhale, wide leg forward fold, hinge from your hips, nice straight back here. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out your spine. Exhale, high to low plank, crawl your palms forward, step your right leg back. Inhale, upward facing dog, flip to the tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog, send your hips back. Inhale, keep your left heel high. Exhale, low lunge, step your left foot between your hands and drop your right knee down. Inhale, crescent moon, arms up to frame your face. Exhale, open arm back bend, lift your heart up, feel the stretch on your right hip flexors. Inhale, crescent moon, arms up. Exhale, low lunge, plant your palms, lift your right knee up. Inhale, warrior one, press your back foot down, extend your arms up. Exhale, warrior two, tee out your arms, gaze over your left fingers. Inhale, star pose, heels in, toes out. Exhale, horse, sink your hips down. See how low you can get your hips this time. Inhale, star pose, press up. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Pivot your toes so they're facing the wall in front of you. Inhale, halfway lift, tense your fingers, flatten out your spine. Exhale, high to low plank. Crawl your palms forward, step your left leg back. Inhale, upward facing dog, press the ground away. Exhale, downward facing dog, send your hips to the back. Get down to your knees, press your big toes together. Widen your knees out to the width of your space. Sit your hips back to your heels and rest your forehead on the ground for child's pose. Take a few rounds of breath here in child's pose. Re-regulating your breath, so deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Try to match the length of your inhales and your exhales. Take one more deep breath in, feel your belly press against your thighs. And a nice slow and controlled breath back out your nose. Now press up to a tabletop position on your next inhale. Tuck your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. Now press your palms down and lift your tailbone a bit higher this time and press your chest closer toward your thighs. You're a bit warmed up, so you should be able to get your heels a little bit closer down toward the ground as well. Now inhale, keep your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Step your right foot between your hands. Spiral your back foot down. Inhale, warrior one. Extend your arms up toward the ceiling. From here, drop your hands behind your back. Interlace your hands. If you don't like the chest expansion, you can just place your hands on your low back. That's okay too. But if you like the chest expansion, interlace your hands. Pull your wrists toward one another. Take a nice deep breath in. Puff up your chest. Exhale, humble warrior. Hinge your torso down and forward and settle your right shoulder on the inside of your right thigh. This is level one, is stay right here in humble warrior. Level two is to come into a balancing position, shifting all of your weight into your right foot and lifting your left leg up off of the ground. Keeping with this chest expansion, gaze down at the floor at an unmoving point to help with your balance. If you have your left leg lifted, a bit of a challenge, point your toes toward the wall behind you and lift your left leg as high as you possibly can. Now wherever you're at, one more breath in. And exhale, forward fold. Step your left foot to meet your right foot and come down to a nice easy forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out your spine, palms to shins or thighs. Exhale, forward fold, bend down. Inhale, chair pose, sit your hips nice and low, arms up. Exhale, eagle on the right. Drop your right arm under your left. You can either go for the bear hug, grabbing for opposite shoulders, or go for the bind in your arms, pressing your palms toward one another. Then ground down through your left foot and lift your right knee up and over your left. So bend deeply into your left knee and sit your hips back a little bit. You can kickstand your right toes on the ground. That's totally cool. You can also go for the bind in your legs, wrapping your right leg around your standing leg. Lift your elbows up in line with your shoulders and then press your palms forward. Take a nice deep breath in, find length in your spine. Exhale, sit a little bit deeper. On your next inhale, slowly unwind your arms and legs, and inhale, mountain pose. Extend your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Slowly hinge from your hips all the way down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out your back. Exhale, high to low plank. Plant your palms, step your feet back. Inhale, upward facing dog, pull your thighs up. Exhale, downward facing dog, send your hips to the back. Inhale, keep your left heel high. Exhale, low lunge, step your left foot between your palms. Spiral your back foot down to the ground. Inhale, warrior one. Extend your arms up overhead, bend deeply into your left knee. From here, drop your hands behind your back, either pressing your palms onto your low back with your fingers pointing down, or going for the chest expansion, interlacing your hands. Puff your chest up, take a breath in. Exhale, humble warrior. Drop your left shoulder on the inside of your left thigh. So you can stay right here, that's totally cool. Let your head relax down. If you want to come into the balanced toppling tree, then shift all of your weight into your left foot this time, and gently lift your right leg up off of the ground. Bit of a challenge, you can point your toes toward the wall behind you, and then press your palms a little closer toward one another, dropping your crown of your head toward the earth. Maybe gazing toward your toes. Take one more breath in wherever you're at. And exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot down to meet your left foot. Let your head just hang down here for a moment. Inhale, halfway lift. Flatten out your back, palms to shins or thighs. Exhale, forward fold, release down. Inhale, chair pose. Sit your hips nice and low. Extend your arms up. Exhale, eagle on the left. Drop your left arm underneath your right, either grabbing for opposite shoulders or going for the bind in your arms. Ground down through your right foot, and then lift your left leg up and over your right leg. Option to kickstand your left toes on the floor. So sit your hips nice and low and compress everything together in this posture. This posture is really all about compression. And it should feel really nice when you let go out of the posture. So squeeze your inner thighs together, lift your elbows up, press your palms forward. One more breath in. Stay for the breath out. Now slowly unwind, inhale, mountain pose, wrap your left leg, extend your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, nice and slow, down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out. Exhale, high to low plank. Plant your palms, step your feet back. Inhale, upward facing dog, straighten your arms. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, come through to a seat. All right, so you can take a little rest here if you want. You can always sit in child's pose. I thought we'd do some playtime today, and you can work on whatever you want to work on. You can work on crow, I'll demo crow pose, but you can really work on whatever you want. You can, if you're doing headstand, handstand, whatever you want. For crow pose though, I'll demo that. So we've done it quite a few times, so if you know what you're doing, just go ahead right into it. If you want to see me demo it, you can pay attention. Spread your fingers out nice and wide on your mat, about shoulder width or a little bit further apart. Then from here, grip the mat underneath your fingertips. So really grip the floor, create a nice solid base. And then lift your hips up nice and high. From here, bend your knees into like the crooks of your armpits. And then shift your weight forward. As you shift your weight forward, your elbows should bend. And then keep your gaze lifted. So if you look down like between your feet, you're gonna feel your weight topple over. So keep your hips up nice and high and then gaze forwards. Keep that chin lifted. From here, you can just play around with lifting one set of toes, then lifting the other set. If you wanna fly your crow, really important to squeeze your core in nice and tight. So snap your belly button up into your spine as high as you can. Keep that gaze lifted. That's super, super important. And then you'll feel once you understand how to really squeeze your core in tight and get that core lock, it'll be a lot easier and take a lot of stress off of your triceps. So we'll take about another minute of playing around with whatever you want to do here. Just have some fun. You can always just chill in child's pose. So whenever you're ready, you can still play around, no rush. We'll meet in child's pose. When you're in your child's pose, re-regulate your breath. Deep breaths in and out, still matching the length of your inhales and exhales. On your next inhale, press up to a tabletop position. Tuck your toes under and exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Now from here, shift forward to a high plank and then slowly with control lower all the way down to your belly. Once you're down on your belly, keep your palms down into the ground. Flip to the tops of your feet. So press the tops of your feet down into your mat as hard as you can. Inhale, baby cobra. Gently lift your chest, magnetize your shoulder blades together. Take one more breath in. Exhale, slowly lower down. Drop your left cheek down to your mat and extend your arms down by your sides. Take a little mini shavasana here. Return your chin to center. We'll take bound locust. So we've been doing a lot of chest expansions. So if you don't like chest expansions, just keep your palms down on the ground instead. But if you don't mind the chest expansions, interlace your hands at the small of your back. Really pull your palms toward one another as tight as you can. Then inhale, bound locust. Lift your chest, your arms, and your feet up off of the ground. Pull your inner feet together to touch and squeeze your palms together a little bit tighter. Inhale, lift just a bit higher. Exhale, slowly lower down to your belly. Drop your right cheek down to the ground and drop your arms by your sides. Feel your heart beating into your mat. return your chin to center. Press your palms down into the ground. Press up to standing on your knees. And then flip over onto your butt. Extend your legs out in front of you. Press the backs of your legs down into the ground. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, seated forward fold. Paschimottanasana, hinge forward, grabbing for whatever you can grab. It can be your shins, the outer edges of your feet, the tops of your feet. Whatever is accessible. On your next inhale, slowly rise back up to center. We'll take cow face pose. So for cow face pose, take your left foot and then cross your left foot underneath your right leg, taking your left foot over toward your right hip. Then take your right leg over your left leg, so your right foot comes over toward your left hip. If this is a little too much for your hips and this is super uncomfortable for you, take your left leg on the bottom and just extend it straight out in front of you. That's totally fine too. And then with your arms, you'll take your right arm, lift your right arm up, and then drop your right hand down your back. Take your left hand and take your hands and curl them up your back toward your right fingertips. Your fingertips might touch, they might not, so you might be able to bind here. Keep your chin lifted as much as you can. Feel this nice stretch in your hips and in your shoulders. One more breath in. And slowly release. We'll switch out our sides here. So take your left foot, or your right foot rather, underneath your left leg. So taking your right foot toward your left hip, and then take your left foot over toward your right hip, stacking your knees on top of one another. Again, if this is uncomfortable, take your right leg and extend it straight out in front of you instead. That's totally fine too. Then take your left hand, extend your left arm up toward the ceiling, drop your left hand behind your back, so you're like kind of pressing in between your shoulder blades. Take your right hand and draw it up your back, reaching for your left fingertips. It's okay, again, if they don't reach. Just feeling that nice internal rotation in your right arm, a nice stretch in your shoulders. Keep your chin lifted, nice straight, tall spine. Avoid any crunching in your back or your neck. One more breath in. And slowly release from the pose. Come on down to your back. Once you're down on your back, pull your knees in toward your chest. Stamp the soles of your feet on the ceiling. Grab for the outer edges of your feet for happy baby. Pull your knees down toward your side bodies. You can rock very gently from side to side if you'd like. If this is a lot and your tailbone comes off the ground, grab from behind your thighs instead. It's a great modification there. Draw your legs to center. Pull your right knee into your right armpit, then extend your left leg long out in front of you. Inhale, squeeze your right knee in. Exhale, supine twist. Draw your right leg over to the left side of your space, and then tee out or goalpost your arms on the ground. Press your shoulder blades down. It's okay if your right leg lifts off of the ground. It's totally fine. Just keep your shoulder blades planted. Option to drop your gaze over your right shoulder. Slowly roll back to center, switch out your sides, pull your left knee up into your left armpit and extend your right leg long. Inhale, squeeze your left knee in. Exhale, supine twist, drop your left knee over toward the right side of your space and tee out or goalpost your arms. Stack your hips on top of one another. Should be a nice gentle twist in your spine. No need to force anything here. So if you're holding on to any tension in your shoulders or in your trap muscles, then just release it and allow your body to sink into the ground. Return your legs to center. Hug your knees up into your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Roll up into one tiny little ball. So pull your forehead up to your knees. Squeeze everything together. Take a breath in. Exhale, Shavasana. Let your arms and legs just go long. Allow your body to fall into whatever position it pleases. Doesn't need to look like any shape in particular. It's wherever you can find the most comfort. Starting from your toes, release any tension you feel in your feet. Draw your attention up your legs. Release any tightness in your legs, in your hips, in your abs. Feel your belly rise and fall naturally with your breath. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And place your palms up or down or in whatever position you'd like. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And relax the muscles in your forehead. Just allow yourself a minute of rest. You can stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. If you'd like to be guided out, begin to bring small movements to your fingers and your toes. Roll out your ankles and your wrists. Take a nice long body stretch. Extend your arms overhead. Put your toes, maybe pull your low back up. Draw your knees into your chest, then rock onto whichever side favors you. For fetal pose, using your bicep as a pillow. Press yourself up to a nice tall seat. Ground down through your sit bones. You can place your hands on your knees and your lap at heart center. And finish with a breath. Exhale out any stale air. Take a nice deep full breath in. Fill up your belly, your lungs. Then hold your breath in at the top. Open mouth, exhale. Nice loud sigh out. Lift your thumbs up to your third eye center. The space between your eyebrows on your forehead. The light in me honors and sees the light in all of you. Bow forward. Namaste.
Thanks, Salz.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was actually my favorite one.
Oh, yay!